Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's just wait for a couple more people to join the stream. Let me just ensure that everything is working as expected as well. Before we get into it, okay, I see we're live on YouTube. We already have some people trooping in. I want to see is Instagram working as well. Instagram doesn't seem to be working. Sorry, guys, just trying to fix. Instagram says unable to connect. What's wrong? If the Instagram doesn't work, then it would suck for our Instagram audience, but it is what it is. Let me just try this again. But yes, thank you to everyone that's joined the stream already on Facebook, on YouTube. We just thought to have this live version of the pod. I mean, we go live a lot on social media anyways, so you guys are used to seeing us live. But we also thought that this would just be interesting and a new dimension that we could potentially bring in for the future. So yes, as always, my name is AyoT, and my co-host is.
Smith Layi, thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining. This is the Naija FC podcast, and we are live. I'm just still trying to fix the stream on Instagram, and I think it is working now. Yes. So now we are live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. For the first ever live podcast of the Naija FC podcast. It's an interesting one. Smith Layi, good evening. Thank you for being with me once again, my wonderful co-host. How does it feel for us to be having our first live podcast? How does that feel?
Fantastic. And I've been looking forward to this, and now we are here. So we promise to serve you better. At least you can see all the behind the scene now. So
you guys can see how the process goes. The only thing is that we're live, so there's no editing, there's no editing. Anything we say now, we cannot take it back, because sometimes when we're recording the podcast, if we talk one or two things, we'll just be like, maybe we should cut this one small, maybe we should remove this one small. But now we're live, first live episode of the Naija FC podcast, and by the special grace of God, more to come in the future. We promise that we'll continue to serve you guys with quality content. Just before we get into the topics for today, we have quite a number of topics to cover. We would also give you guys your chance to join the stream, to call in and share your thoughts, after we share our own thoughts. So it's going to be very interactive, which is why I wanted to do it live, because on the regular podcast, we just talk, we post it, maybe you guys comment. But this time, you can actually call in. Let's hear your face. Let's hear your voice. Let's see your face and engage with us.
And my regular critics too. I want to see you now. So join in.
Yes, the regular critics, please join in. Please let me know very quickly, where are you watching from? Where are you tuned in from? Just so I can hail you. Please let me know where you are tuned in from. I see people on Instagram saying additional from Osun State in Oshogbo. From Oshogbo in Osun State. Somebody is saying we know that Victor Osimhen carry una come here. We'll talk about Osimhen, but we have quite a number of topics that we want to discuss. Exciting topics as well. Somebody's asking about the Super Eagles coaching situation. We are going to talk about that as well. We are going to talk about some potential transfers, rumors, things that we're hearing about players, Nigerian players that may be on the move this summer. Some of them have already even moved. And then, yes, we have a lot to discuss, and we'll, of course, get you guys to share your thoughts. Somebody is saying, Otho is saying he's watching from India. Shout out to you, Otho. I don't know what the time there in India is, but I'm sure it's late in India, so thank you for joining in. Onyechi is in South Africa. Chukuma is in Lagos. Bayo is in Germany. Quite a diverse audience. Ola Cube says is in Iraq.
Iraq, don't mind him. He's not in Iraq. Don't mind him. He's not in Iraq.
But Robin Onome is in Düsseldorf, Germany. I hope you're enjoying the tournament going on there. But yes, thank you for joining. Okay, so let's get into it. Fusi Hype, I see you. Thank you from Toronto, Canada. Yes, Fusi Hype was supposed to have a call, but we'll talk off off camera. Okay, let's get into it so that we don't lose too much time. So the first topic we're going to discuss, um, I'm going to take the Finidi versus Osimhen thing. We're not going to beat into it too much because we've beaten into it a little bit. But the main reason I wanted to talk about this is because I felt like I owed you guys an opinion. I've spoken about this topic. I've spoken about it on other people's platforms. I've debated it on other people's pages, but I have not served my own audience with anything around the topic that I think. And a lot of people have been asking me, what's my take? What's my opinion? How do I feel? So they might not have seen me on the other pages. So I thought, it's only right that I actually talk to my audience and let them know what I think of the whole situation, how I feel, whether or not you agree with me, that's fine. I don't really want to debate. I just want to give you guys my opinion. Smith Layi, if you want to talk about it, feel free to give your own opinion as well. I know you also have spoken about it on other platforms, but I just thought, this audience that I have here, that we have here, deserves to hear from me directly, from us directly. Somebody's asking if it is live. Yes, it is live. It is not recorded. We are streaming live. So yes, Finidi George versus Victor Osimhen. Long story short, there were some comments in the media about Finidi George allegedly saying that Victor Osimhen, was not committed to the team, or implying that he wasn't committed, that he cannot beg players to play for Nigeria. He wasn't quite sure, or he wasn't convinced about Victor Osimhen's injury that made him miss the two World Cup qualifiers against Benin Republic and against South Africa. Not very nice things that were allegedly said by Finidi George. According to, let me not even give them clout, but according to one outlet in Nigeria, Victor Osimhen, one way or the other, heard about it, saw it, read it. I don't know how the news got to him, but he heard about it and he reacted to it, by coming on Instagram Live, and frankly, going off. There's no if you are playing like FM, they will say blows hot. When it's this person blows hot during this thing. Osimhen went off. A lot of you must have seen the video already by now. Some people might have not. So let me just play a part of the clip very quickly. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's quite long, but just to catch you guys up on what may have been said by Victor Osimhen, so you have the full context.
Anything or whatsoever, you understand? I don't get type of nonsense talk. Do you understand? I get injury. Our last match will play against Lecce. I get injury. The last minute, I get injury. You understand? I get injury for my ankle. And I call, and immediately I go Germany. I go see my PK. You understand? So I go do MRI, in which I get the video, I get the picture of everything. Because I know, say, things like this go happen. I am not dumb. You understand? I know, say, things like this go stop. I know for sure. You get. Immediately I do the MRI. The next day, the doctor called me. I go in office, and then they talk to me. So I call Finidi. Immediately, I call Finidi. You understand? I call Finidi immediately. He was on the phone. I told one of my guy, make himself do video as the doctor and me, they speak to Finidi. I get the video in which I go post them for my story now when I finish this live. Do you understand? I know they address nothing. I let anyone believe what they won't believe about me. I know they address anything. You understand? I know they address anything. Everybody knows, say, if I play, whether na club side, whether na for Nigeria, I dey play my heart out. I don't care what anybody go talk. I do what I want to do. I just let everything go. You understand? But I no go allow that disrespect for anybody, because I dey respect person before I disrespect the person. I no go allow that nonsense. I no go allow that rubbish. Come put stain on my name. I know they allow that nonsense. I think I don't keep quiet enough. A lot of you all, they bring stupid agenda. Osimhen this, Osimhen that. When I don't want to let my name rest on her mouth. Now they talk nonsense. I don't care if that thing, if you need to talk, now false or now whatever. I go post that video for my story, and I go post the picture also. And the screenshot, when I follow Finidi, they talk.
Okay. So yes, that's Victor Osimhen, of course, going off on Instagram Live, talking about his condition. And just a few things to note. People might agree, people might disagree, but the first thing is obviously he's upset, he's angry, he's annoyed, he's reacting to the statements that were credited to Finidi George in the media. And I think the first thing that I will say, just before I get into any of my long talk, I disagree with the way Victor Osimhen reacted. I will say that straight up. I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I 1000% disagree with the way Victor Osimhen reacted. Do I think that he had reason to be upset? Yes. Do I think that he had reason to be angry? Yes. But does that absolve you of consequence of your reaction? No. If I punch you, do you have reason to be upset? Yes. Do you have reason to be angry? Yes. Well, if you punch me back and police or security, somebody sees it, they are going to carry you. Or best case scenario, they'll carry two of us. They won't say, "Oh, because I punched you first." So so that's kind of how I look at it. And I also look at it that when you reach a certain level of accolade, acclaim, success, fame, working in a professional field, you're a star in Nigeria, abroad, I also just feel like there's certain ways that you need to carry yourself at all times. And it sounds a bit harsh, it sounds a bit unfair, because at the end of the day, they are human beings. But I also think that this is just the consequences, one of the prices that you have to pay for being famous. Fame comes with a lot of positives. The success is nice, the network, the doors that you can get into is nice. But there's also negatives that come with fame, like the criticism, the abuse, all those kinds of things. And I think this is one of those things. Unfortunately, when you are a successful, famous, you're a brand, you are a star, there's just right and wrong ways to react. If Victor Osimhen was Cardi B, probably nobody cares about his reaction. If Victor Osimhen was Bring It to Nigeria, Portable, everybody like, this is the way he's always just going off. Because their brand does not require them to carry themselves in that kind of manner. It's the same way Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy can go around all day, every day, smoking weed. Nobody criticizes them. I dare any Nigerian footballer, let them see picture of you smoking weed, and you'll see the way the perception of people will change. So it's just when you are a professional in certain fields at certain levels, there's different ways that you just have to carry. You just have to carry yourself, and that's why I think Osimhen should have reacted in a different manner. Something that I think that was very indicative of Osimhen in that video, unfortunately, was that if you guys heard properly, he said, "Waiting for the talk. I don't care if it's false or not." I don't know if you picked up that part when he said it. He said, "I don't care if it's false or not. I'm not going to allow this disrespect." And I understand you felt disrespected. You're well within your rights to feel like you were disrespected. But how can you say you don't care whether or not the statement is actually true or false, and you just come and start lambasting and talking without respect for your coach? I just think it is something that should not be happening. It is something that does not happen often. And it's something that Osimhen should know better than doing. While he was on that live, there were Nigerian players. The one that has been most talked about was Igalo, that was clearly telling him, like, guy, go offline, get off this live, because Igalo knows that this is not how to do things. The Nigerian footballers go through a lot, 100%. Do they go through a lot of things that they shouldn't go through? 100%. Do they go through things that the media should be aware of, that the fans should be aware of? 100%. But is that the right way to handle it? No. I'll give my own perfect example of it was just the Sadikuma situation before the AFCON. The NFF said Sadikuma is injured, he cannot play. Sadikuma said, I'm fit. Sadikuma's club said, oh, the injury is not that bad. But NFF said, no, we have to replace him. All of a sudden, he goes back to Sociedad in Spain. Within 48 hours, we see him in La Liga squad. And then people started saying Uma is lying. That's why he's useless. And just for context, Uma is a player that already gets a lot of criticism from Nigerian players, from Nigerian fans, and media. Already, Sadi gets a lot of criticism. Osimhen, on the other hand, is the most loved Nigerian player by far. We all love and cheer him on. On a normal day, if anybody just talking about Osimhen, the way people will attack you, we know this. So, but Sadiq, even with that, did not come online and rant or say anything or insult anybody. He put out a statement, which I think could have been one of the appropriate ways for Victor to have just reacted, put out a statement. Oh, I heard about these statements that were credited to Finidi George. I don't think this, should have been said. This is very false. I'm fully committed. You guys see the effort I put on the pitch, blah, blah, blah. And everything gets cleared up. The attention turns to Finidi George. The attention turns towards the issues that he's raising versus just the way he reacted. At the end of the day, Finidi George is not a very good man manager. He's not a very good communicator. He's not a very good coach. We have to be honest with ourselves. This is a problem that has been stemming for a while. Obviously, the way Osimhen reacted is not because of one thing, it's because of an accumulation of things. Some of them we might be aware of, some of them we might not be aware of. Obviously, for him to have recorded the conversation, it means that something prompted him to feel like there might be, he might need that evidence in the future. That's what something must have made him feel like he must need that evidence in the future. But so I feel like this is a trickle-down effect. When the NFF gets the appointments wrong, they don't set code of conduct. Finidi doesn't communicate properly. There's no discipline. It's just a combination of different things that leads us to where we are at today. So at the end of the day, I just think it's a case of two wrongs don't make it right. Finidi did not deal with the whole situation from the matches to the statement, whether or not he actually said it. He didn't deal with it properly. I think Osimhen also did not deal with his reaction properly. Because based on how some people have reacted, this could be a thing that affects Osimhen for a while with the national team. The next time Osimhen is in the national team, trust me, the conversation will come up again because people will start talking about, oh, last time this is what happened. So I just think it unfortunately adds a negative thing. We saw a report in the media today that one of the Super Eagles players was saying, oh, this is not a new thing. Osimhen is always causing trouble. So we don't want that. I don't know if that statement is true or not. They did not say which player said it. But if it's true, that player can start looking at Osimhen sideways. He can just create unnecessary rifts. When we're already struggling to qualify for World Cup, this is the last thing that we need. So yes, that's it. I think everybody was wrong. Osimhen should not have reacted like that, especially when he said he did not even care if Finidi said it or not. You cannot just come and be ranting and insulting somebody and say you don't care whether or not it was true. Come on. You have to care. The truth always matters. So that's pretty much it, Sha. I wish Finidi George the best. I wish Osimhen the best. Of course, there's been chain reaction of things that have happened since then. We'll get into it. I want to allow Smith Layi talk. But that's pretty much my opinion on the whole thing. Could have been avoided. Everyone could have done better. Everyone could have been more professional. Hopefully, they all learn from it, and we see how things move on in the future. Smith Layi, over to you. Victor Osimhen versus Finidi George.
Okay, thank you for having me once more. Let me just say my own 2 cents. There's one thing that was prominent in what you said. You said that 2 wrongs don't make right. You can't just, it's practically not possible. But I can tell you that you said there's no fire there's no smoke without fire. These things you're talking about, there might be a background story to it that we are not really actually privileged. For him to record the conversation when he was having that test and making that call, that means that there might be some background stories to it that the two parties did not come out to actually what to say. And another thing is that I've been reading different comments. You can't just when you in my own personal opinion, I think that when you beat a child, you can't really tell us how the child will cry. You can't dictate how the child will cry to. But for me, I just think that wrong to react that way. But if we should put ourselves in Victor's situation, we are all humans. There's something that someone can do for us that can trigger us. There's some things that can do, you actually compose yourself, but there's some things that they can actually do to you that will trigger you. There's one thing that I've known Victor since he made his debut for Nigeria and under 15, under 16, under 17, during his time in 2014. Victor Osimhen, James Osimhen, will always give his 100%. And I've what's it called? Countless occasions that Victor got injured. If you remember the game against Sierra Leone, in Benin when Victor got injured. Everybody was scared. He's someone that will put his head to everything for the country. If someone now believe that the guy is not committed enough, that one can actually trigger him. It's not for me to cite Victor, that Victor reacted in a proper way, but I just think that few things can trigger him like that. So in my own personal opinion, I just think that it was triggered by that situation, and that was what led to that. And I'm pretty sure that by now there's going to be like a reflection of what he did, and he will know that how to actually move on from that. But finally, you cannot, it stems down to organization too. You cannot, if the NFF truly, and I'm going to ask this question: if Mr. Finidi George is listening, did the NFF ask him about Victor Osimhen, and what was his response? Did they single out and ask him about Victor Osimhen, and what was his response? I would like to know that, so that at the end of the day, we know exactly. Because if they ask you for Victor, did you tell them the story that Victor called you, you spoke to the doctor and everything in detail? So sometimes too, you might give response to something indirectly, might mean the other way around. When you get that response, it might be, I mean that okay, it seems that Victor is not really so things like that. I just want us to make sure that in any good organization, secrets like this should not come out. It should be like in-house. They should resolve it. So it's because the NFF is not really working well. That's why you see Finidi, there's one sideway talk, no proper communication. The what's it called? The spokesperson is not doing his job. No statement is coming out. Nothing. So I think it turns out to actually to the organization too. But for me, I will not come here and keep on condemning Victor. But I just know that I think that Victor should also think as an adult that this thing should not be his response next time. In my opinion, I know he was upset, but we learn every day. I know Victor will learn from this. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I'll just latch on that you said was, when something like this happens, it should remain in-house. It shouldn't be stuff that is going public. Mm-hmm. The only reason why the statements attributed to Victor to Finidi George even came out in the first place is because the media outlet said somebody from the NFF came and gave them info about a private, intimate meeting. Who is that person? The meeting was a meeting that was attended by only the top guys in the NFF and the sports ministry. So now go so the leak news. I've been Enoch, the leak news. I've been a general secretary, the leak news. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like among those top guys, who is the person that is leaking this? Leaking this news. Or is it that the media outlets just completely fabricated it? You know what I'm saying? So it's a very dicey one. Obviously, things like that should be able to be dealt with more in-house. Even though Osimhen's reaction should have been in-house, I'm sure that now they would have spoken about it. NFF probably would have called him by now. Himself would have spoken to them, and I'm sure they will resolve it in private. It's just, to me, it's just not a nice look. I'm not trying to condemn Victor, but I also think that if I'm going to praise you when you do something good, I'm going to also point it out and call you out when you do something wrong. Is what I would do with my brother, is what I would do with my sister, is what I would do with my friend, and is what I would do with any football player that I'm talking about. We can all do better. Well, we can all do better. Somebody said it was leaked by an aide to the minister. Unfortunately, did they pay that aide, or he just leaked it just for leaking sake? Is just a very incredible thing. And of course, even on the media side of things, I think we can all do better. We can verify info better. We can tell our stories better. And everybody can do better. That's my conclusion. But yes, after the whole thing happened, Osimhen reacted. We later heard that Finidi George, of course, resigned, stepped down from the job. Whether he did that because of it or he did that before he did that, he already made his decision. Apparently, his decision was because of the technical changes that they wanted to make to the squad, but a bit to the setup and the coaching. But whatever the case is, he has stepped down from the job, and now the NFF are on the hunt for a new Super Eagles coach. Smith Layi, looking at this now, Finidi George, less than 2 months on the job, is out. Who? Or rather, before we get into the next potential coach, how do you rate his time on the job as the head coach of the Super Eagles?
I'm going to be harsh, but and the reason why is because I have voiced my opinion about this issue before several times, and on this platform, on different platform, I said it that it wasn't the right man for the job. It's like money road. It's like it was the wrong man for the job. One, he wasn't prepared for the job. He doesn't know his tools for the job. It's like when you say accidental coach, it is not suitable for the job. He knew that he's not even prepared for the job. He was scrambling for assistance. He's not prepared for the job. So in my opinion, I think he failed, and he failed woefully. He failed woefully, in my own opinion. I don't want to give him a particular score, but if I'm to give him a score, I'll give him like 2%. Because I can't point 2%. I can't point to anything that he did well. My management was wrong, communication was wrong, tactics, he was wrong. What can you judge him with?
Very harsh words, but I will come and say I can understand why you have those harsh words. I can understand. The reality of it is that Finidi George, the expectation that we had for him was low. The bar was low, and he still managed to be so much lower than the expectation that we had. Genuinely, I don't think anybody thought he was going to come and be some fantastic coach. We just said, okay, at the very least now, just keep us steady, do a decent job. But he managed in 2 months. He managed to burn the whole house down.
Yes.
Like Smith Layi said, man management 0, tactics 0, player selection 0, communication 0. So the only thing that like I said earlier, the only thing that I'm giving him some score for, he won one friendly, he drew one one competitive match. So for those 4 points, I will give him
that friendly.
Friendly no be points. No. Point. Okay, so 1 point for the 1 point and the one friendly win.
I want to ask you a question. Sorry, AyoT.
Let me just finish. I'll give him a 4 out of 10, just for that. I initially gave him a 6, but after this whole Osimhen thing, I've reduced it to 4 because I feel like part of why this has happened is because of things that he did not do right. So I'm giving Finidi George, for me, his tenure below average, 4 out of 10. Yeah, what's your question?
My question is, if somebody goes to school and that person scored 1 out of 6, is that 40%?
If you get 1 out of 6. But the thing is, that one, you're looking at it based on only results. But that's what I'm saying. For me, it's a little bit nuanced. It's not just results is the most important part, is the biggest factor, of course. If all this drama happened and he won all his matches, we will give him 8 or 9 for the results. So it's the most important thing, but it's not the only thing. So that's the reason why I'm giving him a 4. The result, see, at the end of the day, he got 1 out of 6 points. It's not good, but in a friendly match, it was different. And I know friendlies don't count, but in a sense, just because if it's that he coached like 20 competitive matches, I will not even be thinking about the friendly. But it's just because it's only 2 competitive matches. That's the reason why I'm including the friendly. 2 matches is a small sample size. For a new coach, it's very possible that a new coach needs more than 2 matches to get into it. It's possible. So I'm giving him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. 4 over 10 is what I'm going to give him. You guys are okay. People our audience, what's your own score? So Smith Layi is at 2%. So 2 out of 2% is not even 2 out of 10 because that one na 20%. So
it's 1 out of 50. 1 out of 50. So, and that's one self. He bribed me to give him one more. But then I want to make one comment more, AyoT. If you have you play 2 competitive games. You draw one and you lose one. And we can see your clear idea of what you are trying to do that it didn't work. My issue is this, that it was not trying to do anything.
Everybody's there 1 or 2 out of 10. So now only me they give them 4. So I'm being too generous. So.
Somebody's giving him negative. So I can see that. So I was surprised that people were still thinking that he was trying to do nothing. If you keep him to this job for 5 years, it's going to be the same old story. I said it. See, some coaches are that they come and give you results straight away. Those are the coaches we need now because it's not coaches that it's just learning. It's just learning and it's nothing. So one player came out to say that there was no tactics against Africa. It was just substitution. There was no tactics. So if you see that, it's gonna be sad. So I knew myself that he doesn't know his audience. I knew myself because I went to study 10 of his games in Enyimba, and I came to a conclusion. I didn't even do it myself. I gave it to experts to try and help me see these games very well, and they looked at it, especially his 2 games he played in the continents. They looked at it. I knew that we come to the conclusion that this man is doesn't know. The tactically is not really good.
Oh, sorry. So, but yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. I understand. It definitely did not impress us. My score is the highest that I've seen. Most people are saying 1 and 2. So me, my own score not the highest. I'm the most generous person. But yeah. So somebody is calling you out. Says Smilai, can you give us names of coaches that you believe can give us instant results? So I will use that question to transition us into the conversation about who's the next coach. So the person asking, who do you think can give us instant results if they're appointed right now? What do you think?
Sorry. AyoT? Yeah, I think you went off slightly.
Oh, do you hear me now? I said, who do you think can give us instant results? That's what the person is asking you. If he's appointed as Super Eagles boss.
For me, in any local coach now, I have to be honest with you, there's no local coach that can coach the Eagles now and get the results. We have some good local coaches in Nigeria, but the problem is that they don't have national team experience. So, gone are those days when we had play coaches like the Shuaibu Amadu of this world. So when situation like this arises, what they do is that they call Shuaibu Amadu to come and take over, and it's going to deliver. But the issue is that locally we don't have now. I have to be honest with you, that can come and take job. So, but if you say let's look around, I can suggest that the guy that they went to, because they have made contact with a man from Holland, a Netherlands man. Is he Mark Bruce, like the coach of Cameroon?
Yeah, the coach of Cameroon,
He's a guy that is a very good communicator. He knows how to motivate players and is very good tactically. I think that was why NFF is actually really after him, and it's not expensive. That one can come, and with due respect to Cameroon, we get better players past them. That one can come and actually ginger everybody. For me, I know that if you bring that guy in with the right players, the guy will win the away game in Amahoro Stadium, Rwanda. You guys will win. So yeah.
So okay, let me ask you this question. I know Smilai, you always have all this info for us. You mentioned Maguire as a coach, that potentially can come and hit the ball running immediately. But other than him, if we're not able to get him, is there any other coach that is being considered at the moment? Are they talking to anybody else? Who else is in the conversation other than Maguire?
There's also Conceição, Also, another former coach of Cameroon is like,
I was about to say,
former coach of Cameroon too, But my problem with Conceição is that in the last qualifier he did for Cameroon, he won only one home game. He drew 2 against Rwanda and came back. So I was looking at the records too. I realized that I went to watch the games. I have to honest with you, I went to watch those games, and I realized that it's like General Part 2. In my opinion, it's like General Part 2. I don't think that that one too is also a low budget coach. It's not someone that can come and inspire confidence. That consensao. There's also, there have been. I'm just thinking that this job should not be for us. It should be for the technical committee, to scout for coaches that can do the job. For me, I think that Cameroonian coach is considering resigning from his position. If he's available, he can get him.
Him and Eto, they fight every other day.
Yeah, they fight. Eto is not giving him yes, he's not giving him ball. So it's a lot of problem. They are fighting. So, and there's also Pitso Mosimani. It was led by JJ Okocha. That one would have been very good, but the issue is that the emotions. South Africa is very volatile. If he leads Nigeria to go and beat them there in their own backyard, he might not come home. It's very volatile. So Pitso is a very good tactician. He's a very, very good tactician. So he can get results. And he knows Africa territory very well. He can get results in like the places you don't know. So in my own opinion, I just think that the NFF people, they spoke to the lawyer of the man already. The man, Mark Bruce in Cameroon. So I don't know. But they are looking at maybe it's not going to continue because Eto wanted to employ Ose Pasero. So it's going to be like a transfer merry-go-round, If we are getting one from them, they're also getting one from us, And imagine Nigeria playing against Cameroon. It's going to be... So I think Eto really wanted Ose Pasero. I think I had a meeting too with him also after this window. That is the man for the job. So, and, he wanted him or Cannavaro. I think Cannavaro is already with one Italian club or so. Maybe didn't say. I don't know. So I think Pasero is the favorite now to take over as Cameroon coach. So if let go of McBride, yes.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Yeah, speaking of Jose Pasero, is it possible that the NFF can put their tail between their legs and go back to Pasero and say, okay, you know what, we will meet the terms that you were asking for in the past during negotiations? Do you think there's any chance that we go back to Jose Pasero?
I can tell you, you're just trying to put words into my mouth. There's been that conversation too. That if what's it called? If they can meet, because it's not trying to bend. If they can try to like meet at the middle, between what they're negotiating, what you wanted, and what NFF is were willing to actually pay. I think that they are looking at him as the best bet, to actually take over this job. Yes.
Very interesting one, and then I'll finally ask you because a few people mentioned Hervé Renard, currently the coach of the French women's national team, of course, going to the Olympics this summer in Paris. What are the chances that he joins the Super Eagles as head coach after the Olympics? Is that possible?
It's possible, but for me too, I don't think that his last stint was in Morocco, and it wasn't impressive there. I have to be honest with you. It's not all these big coach that will just come with the muscular shirts, with the white t-shirt and no, it's not like that.
No, sorry. Renard, he has that swag. He just carries himself well.
Yeah, that swag and that wants to change everything. But these boys too are big boys. But in my own opinion, I think it wasn't good in Morocco. And I think the politics in Morocco, it didn't play it well. So in Nigeria, the politics, if you are not a politician, it's going to consume you. Pasero indirectly played the politics, and he was able to survive in that time that he was there. He never mentioned that they were owing him. He was paying the politics because he knew how to get his money and everything. So Ganetro to play the politics, very well before he actually left. We have a Renard be able to actually play that politics. I don't know. I think time will tell. And also, too, it's very expensive. I don't know. Maybe he's going to take over Shell if we're not able to pay. so because it's very expensive because somebody's asking for like 150 to 200, and you cannot even pay 120 for someone that I know. Is tough. It's tough. I think the guy from Cameroon is 30K. So that one is within the budget. It's just a little bit more than this salary.
Somebody said we have to beg Tinubu for money. if they want to hire have Renard. But yeah, I mean, very very interesting choices. Some people here are saying they want Renard. I see some people say they want Pizzo. Some people said they want Pesero back. That he should get the job. But Tosin is saying pride will not let us go back to NF to Pesero. It's possible that the NFF might not want to go back to him. Joseph is saying, for me, the current Cameroonian coach Opesero is our best option right now.
I agree
Okay,
with him.
so yes, that's pretty much the conversation around Super Eagles head coach. Nothing official, nothing concrete to talk about, but of course, we'll bring you guys the updates as we come along. Okay, Smith Layi, before we transition to the club players, club football transfers, and all the other things. Any last word, anything that you just want to say about Super Eagles quickly?
I just want to say that Super Eagles fans, please don't lose hope. We have been in like a difficult situation before, and we always come out on top. This Super Eagle you see today will fly.
So-
don't cancel your plans of going to America. See you in America. But unfortunately, Super Eagles might be they might group them in Mexico. But don't worry. don't worry. These Eagles will actually want to fly. I can tell you, it was a World Cup qualifier that we're 5 points behind the behind the leaders, and we had 3 games to go. And we won the 3 games. But I can tell you now, take my word, now, Super Eagles will qualify for the World Cup.
I love it. Smith Layi, you said I should continue making my plans, so I'm going to continue making my plans. If Super Eagles not qualify, I will send you invoice.
No, don't worry. So I told you before I've come that we're going to do well. I'm telling you that now that Super Eagles will qualify not through playoff. We top that group and go to the World Cup.
Okay, I've told you, Sha, I will send you invoice if we not qualify. Someone said Gareth Southgate is available.
If we get out there, maybe he's going to take over your airport and be in car. No.
But yes, that's it on Super Eagles. So yes, guys, Smith Layi says keep the faith. Let's just move on quickly so that we can cover some more topics, and then you guys can come on as well to give us your thoughts. Otherwise, that me and Smith Layi, if not to talk football like this, we feel stay here for 2 days. We're not going to finish. Okay, let's go into the transfers. It's the summer. The transfer mill, the transfer rumors are, transfer mill is very active now. The rumors have been flying. Even confirmed transfers have happened already. There's a couple that I want us to touch on. I'll just mention this one. I don't think we need to get into a question around it, but just to acknowledge him. Tony Nwakeme, the one-time Super Eagles player that they abandoned. Go on.
One cap Super Eagles player.
Yes. He has returned to Trabzonspor from Saudi Al Fayha. He went to, and it's funny because I spoke with his brother Dixon, and I spoke with people close to him when he was leaving Trabzonspor initially. They told me categorically, this is how much he needs to get paid. This is how long he wants to go for. This is what they need to provide for him. And when it's done, he will come back. And exactly as they said it to me, is the way it has happened now. I'm not going to mention the dollars, but he got a good contract to go and play in Saudi Arabia, played there for 2 years, scored some goals, had a good time, and now he's coming back to Trabzonspor to finish his playing career. It was important to him, at least before I retire, let me just cash out more, make I go Saudi, go enjoy myself, save some money for the future. And now he'll play maybe another 1-2 years in Trabzon. He'll retire, he'll go to Nigeria and Ghana, or maybe he'll live in Turkey with his family, whatever the case, and live a good life. So I also like to acknowledge and give kudos to him for that one. But the one that I want us to first go into a discussion about is the transfer that was made official yesterday. We're talking about Chidera Ejuke to Sevilla. Of course, Chidera Ejuke, Super Eagles player, of course, represented Nigeria at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, if I'm not mistaken. He has joined Sevilla on a 3-year deal as a free agent after leaving CSKA Moscow in, of course, the Russian Premier League. Ejuke played last season on loan at Royal Antwerp FC in Belgium. He had decent performances for them. Was one of their key players. When he came into the side, he wasn't starting initially, but I think after maybe a month or max 2 months, the coach realized that, okay, this is one of my most effective, my most talented players, and I need to have him in my squad. And then he became a key player for them. He scored 5 goals, made 6 assists in 21 games. Could he have done better? Yes. Could he have done worse? Yes. But I think he still had a good game. One of his most memorable games from last season was when he played against Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League. Even though Barcelona, of course, much better team than Royal Antwerp, Ejuke was a thorn in the side. I remember that day, he was teaching those Spanish players how to dance. I remember very vividly. He's an exciting player. I'm on record saying that Chidera Ejuke, to me, was the most exciting Nigerian player to watch since JJ Okocha. I said that in 2020, I think. And I still think he can be. He just needs to get back to the level that he was on as at the time that I made that statement. He has dealt with injuries. Unfortunately, the move to Russia kind of just was the biggest error. In hindsight, it was an error, but at the time, nobody knew that Russia was going to invade Ukraine. So at that time, it wasn't so bad. But obviously, once the war started, the whole thing just became, a problem. He went to Germany, he got injured, he got relegated, did well in Belgium. And I have to give kudos to his agent, Ata Aneke. This move to Sevilla, I think, is a good step in the right direction. Sevilla didn't have the best season. I think they finished 15th in the Spanish La Liga in this season. But normal Sevilla now, we know that they're a team that has quality. They're not the best team, but they're the top winning side in the Europa League. They usually play continental competition. So if things go well for them, if they're able to get back on track, Ejuke could play a key role for them as they qualify for Europe, for the 2025-26 season. And hopefully it goes well. I'm really, really rooting for him. He's a humble guy. He's a nice guy. He's an entertaining player to watch. And, somebody that can potentially provide good competition for the likes of Simon, Chukwueze, and even it can even be somebody that can help to push Lookman to an even higher level in the Super Eagles. So I'm happy for him. I wish him all the best. And, looking forward to watching him destroy some Spanish players in the La Liga. Smith Layi, what are your thoughts on Chidera Ejuke's move to Sevilla?
No, fantastic, fantastic player. I remember that we really actually clamor for his inclusion to the Super Eagles, and now that he's here, he moved to Sevilla. That's a very big move for him. Sometimes in life you have to go back. You have to go back and take a step backward before you actually would move forward. So when he went to Antwerp, it was like it was like trying to start all over again. And he went back there, he did well. Now to Sevilla on a 3-year deal. He's not on loan in Sevilla. He's now more stable. So I'm really actually happy for him. I think that he's going to bring more options to the national team, especially in the left wing. So he's someone that I really actually admire a lot, and a fantastic talent by himself. So I think that he can play from the right, can play from the left. He's a guy that can come in, especially all those difficult away games, in the World Cup qualifier. You can bring him on, in 9 minutes and try and do something, because I just think that we missed a player like him during AFCON. We missed a player like him during AFCON, a player that is unpredictable on the ball, fantastic guy. And if you remember him too, I saw your interview with him, very humble guy, and he's also a good friend of Boniface, so I remember when he was doing well, Boniface was in Belgium. Was he Belgium?
Norway.
Norway. He was telling you that about the Boniface. I remember that day. See,
it's funny. It's because of Ejuke that I even became friends with Boniface. But go on.
So he was telling you that Boniface guy, you need to talk to him. He's a very funny guy. He was telling you that. I remember that live that day. But fantastic guy. I'm happy for him. Don't forget that in his early years, he went on trial in Liverpool. Yes, he went on trials in Liverpool. So he's a guy that's been very close to those big moves. But now that he's in Sevilla, I want it to go very well because we have seen Nigerian players with high hopes go to La Liga and they fumbled. Players like Imo Ezike, if you remember, players
Yeah.
like Imo Ezike, players like I know that Organic Carrot did slightly before he went to Stoke. Some players, they did not really caught it in the Spanish La Liga. But I just hope that his case is actually was very different. Fantastic player, and I wish him best of luck.
Very, very, very well said. I see somebody in the comments said Banky Oshodi said he just has terrible decision making. I wouldn't completely disagree with you, Banky Oshodi there. I would just change has to had. I think a lot of people are judging him based on when they watched him play for Nigeria in 2021. Ejuke is one of those players, typical Nigerian player from the streets. God gave him talents to do all these skills. And, in Nigeria, he wasn't really focusing on the technical side of the game or anything like that. And of course, when he went to Europe, he was trying to play his natural game while learning the game in Europe as well. Yes, at the time that he played for Nigeria, his decision making was poor. I cannot deny that. Doesn't pass when he's supposed to pass, doesn't shoot when he's supposed to shoot when he's supposed to cross the ball, things like that. But having watched him in recent years, especially in this past season, for what's it called, Antwerp, I can say that his decision making has definitely improved. He's 26 years old now. He's coming into the best, at least in theory, this is supposed to be like the best time of his career. It's coming to his peak. So I think it's something that he has learned. Maybe, sometimes in life, when you go through some trials and tribulations, it teaches you how to do better next time. So maybe some of the struggles that he has had, when he was in Hertha Berlin, he must have thought there's no way I'll not be a starter for a relegation threatening side. But he got Hertha Berlin now. They said, guy, you're on the bench. So maybe those kind of things, he realized, okay, my dribbling is nice, but I need to know the right time to release the ball. I need to those kind of things. Because when I watched him play for Antwerp, honestly speaking, I did not see like terrible decision making like what I saw before. Of course, he's a footballer, he's human. He will still make some bad decisions every once in a while. Everybody does, but I think it was far more improved than what I was seeing before. And again, let's see how we can do in Sevilla. Like, it's a step up for him. If he does well in Sevilla, we can start calling him to the Super Eagles again. But let us see how it goes. But I think
Let me say something. Shout out to one of my friends here too that broke the news to me before Fabrizio yourself about Chidera Ejuke. Shout out to to Amo, telling me about the story before Fabrizio, confirmed the story. So shout out to that person. I know he's watching now.
Yeah. All right. And I think just to give this transfer, I think I'll give this transfer an 8 out of 10. I think if things work out very well for him, it could be the transfer that puts him in the global view of people. If he does well in Sevilla, non-Nigerians are going to start noticing him as well. And Sevilla is a good team. It's not like he's going to go and be fighting relegation. We're not really thinking that. He's going to go and worst case mid-table, best case playing in Europe, competing for the Europa League. So let's see how it goes for him. Smith Layi, what would you rate it out of 10?
I'll rate it for me. I think it's a perfect move, but there's no perfect thing. I will go with you. I will say 8 out of 10 too, because this is like if you mention that a player that you expect to move to a club like this, I will pick Chidera Ejuke. Even I don't Moses Heimer, I pick Chidera Ejuke. Fantastic move. He's still young. He's a guy that I really enjoy watching. He's a guy that you can put money down that is going to be, so he's a guy that will make you dance, or make you dance. So I really actually I'm supporting him, and I hope that this move will also reignite his career, and put him in, like you said, put him into like the world stage so that people can also observe him. I want him to be part of our next AFCON qualifier if he continues to get good game time during this thing. Yeah, that is it.
That is it. Chidera Ejuke to Sevilla. Okay, let us hear your rating. I'm seeing somebody is saying top 6 or 7 team, solid 8. Let us know your own rating in the comments as well, so we can take that very quickly. And then yes, Smith Layi, let us move on to somebody's asking about Nwabali. We'll talk. But yeah, let us move on to the next transfer that I wanted us to discuss. This one is a rumor, it's not a confirmed transfer. It's a report. More than likely seems like it is going to happen. And I'm talking about the potential move of Super Eagles midfielder Fisayo Dele-Bashiru to SS Lazio in the Italian Serie A. There have been strong reports linking him to SS Lazio. Of course, even Fabrizio Romano has let us know about this, and it seems like the move is on the verge of happening. Lazio just let go of their midfielder, so they are seeking a replacement. And some people in the Lazio hierarchy have identified our boy as a player that can potentially be, the solution to the issue that they are having and a replacement. So I think I saw something that you posted on your story about his journey, his trajectory. So I'll let you go first. This move, a big jump for him, but what can you say about Fisayo Dele-Bashiru and his career journey so far?
I'm even surprised that he's making the move now. I thought he's going to be earlier than this time. But kudos to those that have worked with him since when he was over there, just across the road in the Manchester City Academy. If you watch him play in Manchester Academy, you will be wondering, why can't he play in the senior team? It's a guy that believes in himself. So, I'm happy about this move. I said something about this move 6 weeks ago, that this move will happen. So, and it's good to know that everything is already in place now. I think medical have been booked, and I think everything is actually near completion now. So, he's a guy that I really admire. If you have watched him play very well, he's a proper number 10. He can roam about. He's got bullets in his boots, like you saw against South Africa. He's got bullet in his boot, and he's a guy that is very strong. Very strong with the ball. So I'm really, really happy about the move. And he's going to the top 5 leagues. If you look at his progression too, since when he was, there's always a reason for his move. One, he left Man City to go and play first team football in Sheffield Wednesday. He did well there. When he did well there, AC Milan wanted him. He didn't go. From Sheffield Wednesday. Benfica wanted him in Sheffield Wednesday. He didn't go. He moved to Antalyaspor in Turkey to go and taste what first team football, what first division football will look like. He did well there too. He realized that the next stage is to move to the top 5 leagues. And don't be surprised, his next move might be shocking. So I'm really actually happy about the move. It's 7 million euros, but I know that he's going to command a very huge transfer in the near future.
Very, very well said. And I must say, shout out to Fisayo Dele-Bashiru. He's not a friend, but he's an acquaintance, someone that I chat with every once in a while. I love to see how players progress in their careers. I remember when he still used to send me DM to Abeg post him. And now he's playing for Super Eagles, scored his first goal for the national team, potentially going to the Serie A. Levels don't change. Now he doesn't need to beg me again. I mean, they talk about them. But it's fantastic. Humble guy, hardworking football player. Ambitious. Always had the belief that he can get to the top, and of course has a lot of quality as well in the attack. From a midfield position. We saw the fantastic goal that he scored for the Super Eagles in the game. He is one of those players that's in and around the 18-yard area, just outside the box or just inside the box. Those are the areas that he operates very well. He's able to score a good goal. He's able to provide assists. One of those players that has a nice balance of goal scoring and providing the assist for his teammates. And I'm really, really excited to see this move happen. I'm excited to see how it works out for him. I believe that he has the quality to do well in Italy. I believe that he has the quality to do well in Lazio and even potentially, move to a bigger side in the future. Of course, Lazio, I think they are in the Conference League qualifiers. So he would be hoping to qualify with them and eventually get to play in the Conference League as well. Potentially playing against Chelsea could be an interesting want for him. But yes, I think his journey so far has been really really exciting to see. He's still a very young player. He's still a 23-year-old boy, and his potential is really high. When you think about what could be his future in the next 3-4 years, I think there can be what's it called, so much more to come for Fisayo Dele-Bashiru in the future. And thank you for calling this out, Manuel 14. Thank you very much. Please, if you are watching, make sure you like the video and you share. How can we have 96 people watching live but only 9 likes? Come on, guys. Like the video so that more people can see it on YouTube, so that more people can join in. Share the video so that more people can join the conversation. And, just also to ginger us more, and maybe they do this thing more and more. Encourage us, I just double checked. Subscribing is completely free. Liking is completely free. Sharing is completely free. They will not charge you any money. If they charge you, I will refund you. If you like, it's free. If you share, it's free. If you subscribe, it's free. Same thing on Facebook. Same thing on Instagram. So thank you guys. Make sure you like, you share, subscribe. And yes, Fisayo Dele-Bashiru to Lazio potentially done in the nearest future. Okay, more rumors very quickly. Let us jump into the next one. Smith, one of our Super Eagles players, one of our big men in the Super Eagles, one of our senior men in the Super Eagles is on the verge of a move to another Premier League club. If you haven't caught on already, I'm talking about Kelechi Iheanacho. We have heard the reports that Iheanacho might be joining Aston Villa from Leicester City, or as a free agent after not renewing his contract with Leicester City. This one is a very interesting one. I will start by saying I pray this transfer does not happen. Some people might be wondering, why don't I want him? I do not want Kelechi Iheanacho to go to Aston Villa. I want Kelechi Iheanacho to, at this stage in his career, now that he is supposed to be at his prime, I want him to go to a club where he realistically can play football. I love Kelechi Iheanacho. With all due respect to him, is he going to start ahead of Oli Watkins? It's tough. Oli Watkins is a very, very, very good striker. He's Aston Villa's main man. He's a proven guy. Based on the reports that we've heard, they are thinking about getting him as a replacement for John Duran, the 20-year-old boy that Chelsea, for only God knows why, but I'll stay for another day, that Chelsea is thinking of signing. So they say they want him as a replacement to come and chop bench. I think Iheanacho has chopped enough bench in his career that at this point, to me, even if it's to go to, I don't know, Germany and go and start, or Italy, what is it?
Ipswich Town,
even if it's to go to Ipswich, thank you, to go and start. Maybe he might not want to leave England because he has been there, he's comfortable. I think he needs to start, he needs to play. It cannot just be someone said Real Madrid. It cannot just sit at home or sit, in a team and just be comfortable. I want him to have ambition. That's my own personal prayer and belief and hope for Iheanacho. Was too comfortable sitting behind Vardy, and then they brought Daka to come and now push him further back, and it was just comfortable just sitting behind them again. Some days they will never put him in match day squad. I'll go and be checking out, is he injured? I really hope he doesn't join Aston Villa because I don't think he'll play as a starter. I think he'll be playing FA Cup. So I really, really hope that he doesn't move there. But Smith Layi, what are your thoughts on this potential transfer to Aston Villa?
The transfer to Aston Villa is like you have been toasting somebody for so long. It's now time for that person to grieve for you, because I can tell you that in Iheanacho's career, he tormented Aston Villa. Anytime they hear him, Iheanacho, they will know that they are in trouble. When he was in Man City, he was scoring against Aston Villa. When he was in Leicester, he was getting goals against Aston Villa. So and Unai Henry too, I think he's actually was a big fan of him. So in my opinion, I think they're buying him as a backup striker to Oli Watkins, which I think that, like you said earlier, is not good in his career now. Somebody asked me a question here that how much are they buying him for? He's free of charge that they are buying him. So, in my own opinion, I think that this item that he should know that, come on, I need to move on. I need to stop playing second fiddle, to strikers. I need to stop playing second field. I need to be the first choice, and I think that one really actually will help him. I hope that it thinks along that line, and I hope that it can actually think twice before signing those dotted lines for Aston Villa.
Very, very well said. Thank you very much, Smith, for that one. Already 1 hour into this, so we need to. There's so many topics, but we need to go fast so that we can bring you guys on to talk. Otherwise, people will not talk today. A lot of people are asking about other transfers. We cannot take every rumor, but I think I'll just take this one as well before I go into the final one that I had. Just because some people have asked about it. Unfortunately, because I wasn't really planning to talk about this, I don't have a graphic for it. So bear with me. But we are also hearing that there is a chance that Kelechi Iheanacho will be Kelechi Nwakali, namesake, will be moving to FC Luzern. At least we're hearing that they are interested in his services. FC Luzern is a Swiss club. I think an outlet in Switzerland, 442.com, put out a report today saying Luzern are looking at him for potentially 500,000 euro. He has 1 year left on his contract with GD Chavez, of course, in Portugal, where he just played this season and unfortunately got relegated into the second tier. It does not seem like it doesn't seem like Nwakali really wants to play in the second tier in Portugal again. So he's trying to find the next best step for himself. FC Luzern is a team that I've followed quite a bit in the past, especially because they've had 1 or 2 Nigerian players on their books within the past five or so years. It's going to be an interesting one, honestly. For me, I think, are they a team that is really going to hit any fantastic heights? Not really. They're not one of the best teams like that in Switzerland. I think it's going to be, they can, if they do well enough, maybe they can qualify for Conference League, but if on a personal note, Nwakali is able to lift himself up, is able to impress and at least become a good midfielder in Switzerland, I'll be happy for him. There's a player in Switzerland called Ifeanyi Matthew. He plays for FC Zurich, and he's one of those players that is not the biggest name, but he's a very steady Eddie. And while he's not as famous as Nwakali, of course, Nwakali became famous at the youth stage. If I were to compare and rate them right now and say, who is more deserving based on performance of a Super Eagles call-up, I'll probably look at Ifeanyi Matthew first. So I think at least Nwakali can try to become a steady Eddie in a place like Switzerland, and then maybe we can start to talk about him more again. But yes, Smith Layi, what are your own thoughts on this potential transfer, Nwakali to Luton?
I think he just need to pick himself up, despite the show of shame that happened in Chavez, and I think he needs to pick himself up anywhere he can get to play football. He needs to actually play football. But one thing that is clear is that I don't think his talent is really the top level. I can tell you, because to be moving this sideways, the same club, I just realized that it's the same thing over and over. So, but if somebody just relegated with Portugal before he came to Portugal, he got relegated somewhere else, and maybe even clubs will be scared to sign because maybe he's coming and he will now relegate again. So, but I just think that he's what's it called? He needs to get to play football. Even if it's the NPFL, he just need to get play football and be active. So when he's active, we can actually start talking about him. For me, I don't think I'm a big fan, but I just think that any opinion I said, I don't want people to pick it up. But I just think that, obviously, that I'm not a big fan, but I just think that, in my opinion, I think, just to get to play for me, not a super good material.
All right. Well said. Thank you for that opinion, Smith Layi. Once again, please, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video on YouTube. Make sure you share with your friends, your family. Please. So that more people can join in, so that people can join the engagement, and of course make this more interesting. And of course, we'll be encouraged to do this live podcast more and more often. So yes, that is it with Kelechi Onwa Kali. Okay, my final transfer rumor before we start to bring people in to talk is the biggest name in Nigerian football today.
African football.
And in African football, yes, the biggest name, Victor James Osimhen. Some reports Arsenal have been, doing work behind the scenes, trying to sign Victor Osimhen, even though in typical Arsenal fashion, they did not want to pay the money. They did not want to pay the money that is being requested. They are trying to negotiate to see how they can go below the release clause. But it is a hot rumor. It is a potential move. Victor Osimhen becoming the new striker for Arsenal. So Smith Layi, I'll let you go first here. What are your thoughts on this potential move? Do you want it to happen? How do you think things are going to play out? Go.
Finidi, sorry, I said Finidi, sorry. Victor Osimhen. Because anytime I see him now, I see Finidi. So Victor Osimhen is a fantastic. He's a very good move, and I'm hearing from I'm hearing rumors. I don't have access to them, like the Arsenal hierarchies too. They are already preparing their bid to go and get Victor Osimhen, and also they want to, as usual, they cannot pay what Napoli's wanted to actually requesting them to actually pay. So what they were trying to do is that to try and beat it down, they want to add either of Eddie Nketiah and Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus. Either of them, they want to add it to it because a move that Arteta wanted to happen is a move. It seems that is the missing link in his team. So it seems that it's a missing link in his team. So, and my opinion, I think that what's it called? If Victor can go to Arsenal, Victor will score like no man's business, in my opinion, because it's a team that already got a 9.5 playing as a number 9 for them. That is Kai Havertz. I that easily Victor will play in that team. It's a move that will suit Victor very well. And in my opinion, if Victor becomes a Arsenal player, I become a Arsenal fan. So just be sending me early. I become a Arsenal fan, and this is one of my prayer points now, and I want it to actually what happen, because I believe that if Victor play in the Premier League, Victor can challenge Haaland. Honestly,
for the golden boot. I mean, why not? If Cole Palmer and Oli Watkins can challenge Haaland, then there's no reason why Victor cannot.
I think Haaland is going there.
The only thing I would say is that me, personally, I don't want Victor Osimhen to join us now. For selfish reasons. I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I don't want. Arsenal are already a very good team. We have to admit it. Even though it pains me, Arsenal are already a very good team. I don't think I should stop talking down. I'm not talking down on Arsenal, but Arsenal are already a good team. We saw it this season that a lot of the time, if only they had a striker, if only they had a striker, if they now get a striker like Victor Osimhen, I think he's somebody that might be able to take them over that line. And a game like Chelsea that they are playing 2-2, they can win. A game like Aston Villa that they are losing, they can win. A game like City that are just coming to come and pack boss, they can potentially attack more and win. That is the reason why I don't want this move to happen. I do not want Arsenal to win the league. I want to live till maybe 95 years old before Arsenal win the league. I don't mind if as soon as I die, they can win the league tomorrow. I'm fine with that. But I don't want them to win it within the next 60 years or something. So I really don't want Osimhen to join them. But in in all seriousness, though, it will be a good move for Victor Osimhen. I think he will fit into the Arsenal squad. They are a team that has a lot of chemistry. Osimhen knows how to score goals. He won't even have to work as hard as he normally works because the rest of the team is already so in sync that they will do the work for him and they will just put it on a platter for him. Most of the goals that Kai Havertz scored this season, the Arsenal fans were happy. It's not like Havertz was doing anything spectacular. Somebody will cross ball, he will tap it in. You know, very, very simple goals. And that's how, to be frank, the best teams, that's how a lot of their goals come. Remember Man City, a lot of their goals, square ball, tap, especially during the days of Aguero. Even Haaland, people say he's a tapping merchant. It's because his players are setting him up. You look at Harry Kane when he was playing for Spurs, you know, even though Harry Kane has all-round ability, most of his goals, square ball, tapping. And I know that if Osimhen joins Arsenal, he will score goals. I think if Osimhen joins Arsenal, he will score 20 plus goals in the league. You know, and in all competitions, depending on how, obviously, knock on wood that he's able to stay fit, but in all competitions, I think Osimhen, if he joins Arsenal, can score 30 plus goals. So I hope he doesn't join us now. I hope he joins somebody else. He can join Chelsea. In fact, he can join Liverpool. I don't even care. He can even join Man City. But us now, please, he should not join. If he does join, though, I think it will be a good one for him. It will be a good one for Nigerian players. It will be good to see more Nigerian players in the Premier League, more Nigerian players in the big teams, more Nigerian players potentially winning trophies. So it will be good for him. It will be good for Nigeria. It will be bad for me. So yes, that's my thought on Victor Osimhen to Arsenal. A lot of people in the comments are saying, why now? Why now, AyoT? It's my own personal feeling. No, you people can have your feeling. Me, I don't like Arsenal. But yes, somebody said he will win a lot of penalties in the Premier League. Potentially, yes. Let me see what else. He said Victor will fight with Ateta for sure. Please, you people should. You will leave Victor alone, I beg. You don't fight with Ateta.
He fight with Napoli coach.
I mean, he fought with Spalletti small. Not be real fight, but Spalletti that time they had small arguments in training. But let's see. Someone say AyoT, you will be all right.
Did he fight with Gattuso?
Did he fight? I don't know if he fought with Gattuso. You know, Gattuso was his father. Now Gattuso carry on come Napoli. So that time, I know when
to carry and go. I thought he was trying to carry him now.
And I think I know. But that time when Gattuso brought him to Napoli, it was not a star like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now he don't win league, he don't win African best. He has got Ballon d'Or number 8. You know, he has level don't change. Joe.
Somebody said that they will baptize you and it will change to Arsenal. They will baptize so that you will change to Arsenal finally. Well, we'll wait and see.
But yeah, that is it. Someone said AyoT will settle it. I don't understand what exactly you mean, but yeah. Someone said a madman cannot fight with a madman. Now why Osimhen and Gattuso no fit fight? Okay. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is it. Victor Osimhen to Arsenal. I know that there are more topics, transfers that we can cover.
Transfer. But before you go, one transfer keep on popping up here.
Okay.
The way you talk about Olorunke to Sudan. Why are people like this? Why are people like this? He's talking about to war torn Sudan. Why are people like this?
I wish him all the best.
I wish him all the best. That is it. Thank you.
Yeah, I wish him all the best. But yes, thank you very much, guys. Okay, let me share the link. So if there's anybody that would like to join, to give us their thoughts, you can of course use the link to join us. And I think depending on how many callers we get, we'll try to give everybody maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes. It all depends. If there's many people, then obviously we'll have to take it quick. If there's not that many people, then you would have more time to share your thoughts and potentially even stay on for more. Okay. I'm going to post the link everywhere now. It's going to be on, let me see. I'll pin it on all the platforms. Give me 1 second, guys. While we're waiting for that, sorry, let me just give a shout out to EagleStrikerShop.com if you'd like to support the stream, if you'd like to support the brand, if you'd like to rep Nigerian football and get yourself some high quality merchandise, make sure you check eaglestrackershop.com. There's so many fantastic items that are up for sale: hoodies, phone cases, and so much more. It's all available on the website eaglestrackershop.com. So please make sure you check that out. Okay, the link is now posted on YouTube. It is now posted on Facebook. Let me just go to Instagram and make sure I post it there as well. And you guys can join the conversation. Someone said my thoughts on Ejuke's move to Sevilla. You are late though.
Oh yeah, let's to come. Yeah, let's we discussed that one initially. That's
Yeah.
kind of tomorrow. Has repping the wood for you guys.
Yeah.
Connect to work.
So yes, you are late, but of course, the video will be saved, so you can always go back and watch. To hear what we said about Chidera Ejuke's move. But please, if you'd like to join, the link is now everywhere. Just make sure you click on the link. Once you click on the link, it should take you to the lobby. We will see when you're in the lobby, and of course, once it's time, we will bring you on to join the program and give us your thoughts. Sorry, I just give me 1 second, guys. I just want to double check that everything is working properly. Everything is working properly before we bring the first person on. I see one person has already joined us. So yes, hopefully we can get more people. I want to hear as many opinions as possible, please. I want to hear as many opinions as possible. Okay, let me take the first guest. Please turn on your camera so that we can see you. Fola, turn on your camera so that we can see you. If you are calling, please make sure you have a camera so that we can see your face. And of course, we want to be able to hear your voice as well. Hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Try to switch my camera. Apologies. Still not switching.
Uh,
I'll be putting it around.
technology issues. But
Okay.
yes, okay, I see you. So yes, good evening. Thank you for joining, or good morning. I'm not sure where you are.
Yeah, it's evening here, afternoon, thereabout. My thoughts. I just want to say that I think it's a good thing that Victor is joining Arsenal. I think it's going to be a very good move for him. Like you said, I see him competing with Haaland and the best strikers in the EPL if he joins. I'm also not an Arsenal fan. I also want to see Arsenal do well, but like Smith Layi said, if Victor should go to Arsenal, then we have to change. We need to become converts. So I think that's a really, really good one, and it's one I'm looking forward to. Another one that has really been exciting for me lately is the Ejuke's news. I think I saw quite a number of tweets from Sevilla's camp about that move, which could be, maybe not, could indicate, the fact that they're quite interested in him joining and looking forward to him, playing with them. And so I think that's also a very good one. I've not really, I've seen a couple of clips of him playing, and I've been following his his career a little bit on the side, and I can't remember who exactly said so, but one of his teammates mentioned at some point that he's like the best player he's ever played with, and that shows that he has a lot of potential. And I think him joining Sevilla is actually a very good one. Put him on the world stage. Hopefully, he could have a very exciting career like this guy had in Villarreal, at least something close to that. That would, again, just solidify his position and his status in world football as well. So those are like two exciting ones for me, and really looking forward to the new season starting.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Fola. Thank you for joining and for sharing your thoughts. It was nice to hear from you. Even though I don't want to seem to Jonathan, I've said it, but but still, thank you for joining and for sharing your thoughts. Let me take the next caller now. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. That was Fola, of course, in favor of Osimhen's potential move to Arsenal. Even me, I know the positive that can come out of it, but like I said, I just really don't like Arsenal. Okay, so let me have the next guest now. Thank you for joining us, Egbe. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Irobe.
AyoT, Smith Layi, you guys, good to see you guys, honestly. I missed you when you were sick. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm hale and hearty now. We thank God, full energy and.
Thankfully, Finidi was giving all of us sickness, so I'm very happy that he has gone with his disaster football. Honestly, I think the best thing that has happened to Nigeria in the last 2 weeks was Finidi's resignation, because we're definitely not going to the World Cup under his guidance, and I don't know who we're going to employ. I don't know what we're going to do, but watching the 2 games with South Africa and Benin Republic were completely disastrous, honestly. He was completely clueless. He played Osai Samuel at left back. He was playing players out of position. At the point in time, I didn't know if we were a back 3 or a back 5. I don't know who was the third centre back. I was completely confused. So if I'm confused watching for 90 minutes as to what they're playing, I wonder what the players on the field were feeling. And I don't know how the NFF actually interviewed Finidi George. I pulled up all his interviews on YouTube. I watched every single one of them, and I can tell you, I have not seen an interview in the last 5 years Finidi George did that inspired me. How much more inspiring professionals. So, he was obviously clueless. So I saw a headline today that said they did not actually interview Finidi George for the job, and I'm not surprised, because there's no way you could have watched that guy's interview and said, this is the man to come and coach the Super Eagles. So I'm sure even the players are relieved that he's gone. But I saw another headline that said they are lining up possibly Salisu Yusuf again as our coach, which is actually a scary thought. Salisu Yusuf and Munike, something like that. So I don't know what Salisu. I've never even heard Salisu Yusuf speak. I don't know how he continues to get linked to Super Eagles' job. But that's Nigeria for you. So I don't know what you guys think about that whole situation. I just wanted to talk about that. For Ejuke, I think that was a great move. Great move for him, honestly. And I think he's one of the players that should have been invited for these 2 qualifiers. Finidi George decided to bring 5 strikers and only 2 wingers. Only 2 natural wingers were invited. That was Lukman and Chukwueze. If you notice that, there was no other natural winger invited since Stella pulled out. And he didn't invite any fullbacks. He didn't invite a single left fullback. So I don't know what.
They said Sadiq Bending can play left and right.
Who?
Sadiq Bending.
Sadiq can play left and right. Well, I pulled up some of his highlights. I don't think he has ever used his left foot before. So the guy from Remo Stars, he's definitely a right back and not a left back. So I don't even know what Finidi was thinking. That's why he had to play Osai Samuel at left wing back, which was uncomfortable throughout. So I don't know what he was doing there. But honestly, I'm just glad Finidi is gone. And I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on who you guys would prefer to coach us next. So
before you go, let me just tell you about Salisu Yusuf. And his last job was that he coached Kano Pillars to relegation. That was his last job. So So if you want to, you just cannot be that. So if you want to,
Well, I don't know. I don't know for our country.
they will
I
not,
mean,
they will not give
America
it.
here. I'm hoping I can watch the World Cup when it comes to America. You know,
Yeah.
and Nigeria is there. But if Nigeria is not there, or in Canada, I can come and visit you guys in Canada if you are playing there. I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. So
Yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there.
we
Don't worry. Start
pray.
planning. We'll be there.
So Layi says, start planning.
Yes.
I hope for
We'll
the best. I hope for the
be
best.
there.
You guys
We'll be
have a
there.
good one. I'm watching.
All right. Thank you very much for joining, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Nice to hear from you. Okay. The line is still open. The link is pinned everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram as well. So please, click the link and join us if you'd like to share your thoughts on any of the topics in Nigerian football as of today. Just once again, before we continue the conversation, please make sure you like this video. If you are on YouTube, just click that like button. Click subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. If you are feeling generous, you can also donate to the channel. Feel free. Not complaining. You can join the channel as a member. So we have memberships on the channel that allow you to get different incentives. You know, some videos are available earlier than others to members. We are going to work on some exclusive videos only for members, as well as exciting contents that we have coming up. Members also get discounts on every merchandise that we sell. Members would always get first dibs to any new merchandise that's coming up. Anything that we're working on, members will be involved. Members would be part of our decision-making process, and of course, we'll have first access to a lot of exciting content. We have so much that's in the works. So if you'd like to get this, this privilege, you like, or you just want to support the channel, you can become a member. And of course, we appreciate every single one of you that supports us in one way or the other. But membership costs money, I'll admit. Donations cost money, super chats cost money. You know what is free? To like, to share, to subscribe. Completely free. I double checked. Okay, let us bring on the next guest, a friend of the house. I see you, Adedotu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Football encyclopedia. When I heard us put his eye like that, there's a lot going on. I know. See, let me just chip in my own. Let me start from Naija football. Please, some people are well respected, and they should feel respect themselves. If not, God will start planning and you can eat anybody's head. Anybody that is campaigning that we should bring Salisu, the same Salisu that failed to qualify for CHAN and Olympics, the same Salisu that invited a player in Division 9 in England and invited a Nigerian Lebanese who doesn't play ball.
No, he didn't invite a player from Division 9. The player is a carer. He's not a. He's a care. He's a care worker.
He invited a carer. I invited a Lebanese. That's the right that he was staying in Azerbaijan to play for us. People should stop mentioning Atalisu's name. And one of them, I have his number. I will send you a text. Don't mention that name again. If you don't want me to swear for you. That's on that. I am a fan of Finidi as a player. But as a coach, no. I would have rated him 3/10. But I rated him 0.5 for tarnishing the image of Spy Bulls by inviting a player from EFU to Spy Bulls of Nigeria. That's a slap on our personal aberration on Nigerian football. We can't bring it. Even Tanzania, our under 70 can beat as a national team. In their history, they've never for once invited a player from EFU to the national team. See, that's like that. If NFF can talk to Marcelo, and meet him halfway so that he can continue what he started, I'll be glad. But what I'm saying that do not bring anybody lower than Marcelo. That's my own. Don't bring anybody lower than Marcelo. That's my own. If you can't give us Parcelo or you get bring somebody ahead of Parcelo, and on the move, I'm telling you, the greatest move for this is that of Chidera Ejuke. I'm happy for you. I am really happy for you. This time around, he's going to enjoy his football. And Dele-Bashiru, I pray the deal goes through so that the guy too, people can see him well. Because to me, I don't rate that. But if I'm not playing for Fenerbahce or Galatasaray in Turkey, to me, I'm not playing football in Turkey. Then the last one, AyoT. Let Arsenal line up Lautaro Martinez, Alan, Osimhen, and all the best strikers. They can never win anything. I know Arsenal fans are listening to me. They can never win anything. Anything. If they need a point to win, they can't get it. Not Arsenal. Until they stop that their mouth and apologize for all they have said against the big boys. They can never win anything. Anything. But we like, even if it don't goes to Arsenal, we only wish them well. We only wish Arsenal well. For me, you know me, I can never leave my almighty AC Milan. Never in my life, I leave almighty Milan. That's just it. But please, AyoT, I know they listen to you. They don't listen to Smilai because to them, Smilai is a problem child. For you, they still listen to you because you talk calmly. Tell your, I don't know if I'm calling your mentor or your friend, to stop mentioning Salisu's name.
Who is my mentor?
Okay, well, Hollywood. No, Siasia, fine. Before he left, before he had issue, in national team, he did well. But in the last 2 years, what has he done? Football has improved. Has the man improved himself? No, because he's been under FIFA ban. And once he has to go and equip himself, they can give him. But Salisu, by right, Salisu should not even near a secondary school football. He should not. He should go and be doing something. That's just it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
all right, thank you. Let me bring the next person. I was about to bring Adeb Damola on, but I see you just left. Uche, I want to bring you on next. Please turn on your camera. Uche, please turn on your camera so that I can bring you on. The link is still open. The line is open if you'd like to call into the show. It's pinned everywhere. Just click the link, join the show. And of course, we would like to hear your opinion. Uche, please turn on your camera so that I can bring you on. Uche say I'm actually busy, but now you were calling. All right, no problem. Anybody else that would like to call in, please call in. Smilai, before we take the next call, let's just go back to the comments very, very quickly and address what some people are saying. Some people have been asking questions, some people have been giving opinions as well. Somebody is, I think, was talking about just how the blame is apportioned between players and coaches when it comes to bad results, bad performances, etc. And Bode Adetunji on YouTube said the players played badly, but Finidi invited them and assessed them in training before featuring them in World Cup matches. Because of this, Finidi George will be blamed for the disappointing performance. And another person, Adedamola, says you are unfair to Finidi. Finidi did not have much options. Most of the top players, e.g., Ekong, Sanusi, Aino, were injured. So that's why he played some players out of position. So those are two different, opinions. Smidlai, what's your thought on this?
I will see when there's a failure, the head will take responsibility. For example, if you have a company that's not doing well, you will take responsibility. That is why they call it coach and manager. You are the managing the situation. So anytime there's any failure there, they go to the head. That's why the coach gets sacked. That's why some players can play to sack a coach. You know that? It's not playing for the player, it's not playing for the manager again. That's why you hear that. So who should we go and sack? Should we go and sack Chukwueze? When we knew that, should we go and sack Numa? When Numa was one of the best players in AFCON. So he's the manager because we are sacking Finidi because what? Finidi wasn't able to get the best out of them. That's why Finidi is what leaving the job. And I am saying that we are being unfair to Finidi George. See, the issue is this: he doesn't have much option. But the people he brought, are they helping him? He said he doesn't have option. But there was Akpoguma, there. There was Balogun there. There was Olisanda there. There were players that can actually what call on. Why did he ignore them and go and call Sodiq Bending? Why did he ignore them and go and call the guy from Hiefu, Megamet Tiamino? Why? So the issue is this: it's not about Finidi not having enough option. It's Finidi not doing the right thing. And if you don't do the right thing, you take responsibility. See, since time memorial, coaches are hired and fired. If your coach is not doing well, fire the coach.
Okay. Well said, Smith Layi. Before we take the next caller, let me just use this opportunity to quickly let you guys know about something exciting that we have coming up in the next few weeks. I am talking about the Eagle Striker Awards for 2024. Wow. Forgive me for my lack of preparation with my sounds, but as I said that, I'm supposed to start playing some, excitement. Just imagine as I said it, there was like exciting music playing in the background and some exciting sound effects. But yes, the Eagle Striker Awards 2024 will be taking place from July 1st to July 3rd of 2024. I hope I'm correct. Yeah, July 1st, July 3rd. It is going to be a 3-day event celebrating the best, most outstanding Nigerian players for the 2023/2024 season. It is exciting. Somebody's asking what are the categories. All that information is going to be released on social media within the next few days. But because you asked nicely and because you guys are on our first ever live podcast stream, I'm going to give you the information exclusively now. The Eagle Striker Award, like I said, it is celebrating the best and most outstanding Nigerian players for the past season, and we have 9 awards that we want to hand out over the 3 days. So we're going to do goalkeeper of the season, defender of the season, midfielder of the season, forward of the season. Very straightforward, 4 awards based on positions. We are going to also have an award for the revelation of the season. So this is the player that had a breakout year. That one player that had the most outstanding breakout year. We're going to have a young player of the season. So this is a player who is 23 years or under at the start of the season that had the best year, for himself or herself. And then we're going to have the fans player of the season. So this is where the fans get to vote from about 10 nominees on who their favorite player for the season was. And then we're going to have a team of the season as well. Of course, this best 11, you know what the team of the year looks like. And then we're going to have MVP on the women's side as well as the MVP on the men's side. So that's what is going to come up with the awards. 9 awards starting on July 1st. The nominees are going to start getting released from, I believe, Friday. My team is working hard to make sure everything is in order for an exciting 3-day social media event. And by the special grace of God, one day, the Eagle Striker Awards will happen live in person. And it will be an exciting thing for everybody to join. And every winner will receive $100,000, something crazy. But one day we'll get there. But for the social media, this is our fifth year doing this. With all due respect to everybody else, with all humility, I say this with every sense of humility, but also every sense of pride, because I know the work that we do. Nobody in the world follows Nigerian footballers as closely and as in-depth as I do and as my team does at Eagle Striker. I say this with all humility, but also because I am confident in what I do. Nobody in the world covers Nigerian players as closely and as extensively as we do. I don't think there's nobody in the world. I think I cover more. I focus on more players, follow more matches, follow every day, every weekend. I'm following over 400 Nigerian footballers. We did a lot of work. So I do believe that we are in the best position to tell people who performed well and who deserves accolades. So yes, the awards July 1st to July 3rd. Okay, let us have the next guest. Adedamola, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Yes, my name is Adedamola, calling from Texas. So I heard what people have been saying over the past days about Finidi, and I feel like some of the comments is actually quite unfair. And I think it's because he's a so-called, local coach or home-based coach. But first of all, I believe that people like Finidi George, Sunday Olise, and these guys are not really local coaches. They are Nigerian expatriates, meaning that I think Finidi lives in Spain with his family before he moved to Nigeria to coach Enyimba. Olise lives in Belgium. So these guys, actually, they've been tested at the top level. I hear people saying that, oh, Finidi doesn't have a license. What license does he have? This guy has like a UEFA A license, the last time I checked. So now, back to the issue of the last match we played. I believe that even before the match, so much has been said about Finidi. Oh, he's not fit for the job, this and that. But if you look at the match, and if you look at the match in an objective way, you will see that, for example, I was one of those that criticized the selection of Iheanacho in the first game against SA, and also his choice of Onuachu. But now, when I saw the second game, it now made sense to me the reason why he had to start Onuachu and Iheanacho in the first game. Onuachu, if you notice very well, most of our strikers are not really playing at the top level because of fitness issues. Terry Murphy was not prolific for Nice. Boniface had an injury, and ever since he came back from injury in April, even Alonso has not been playing him regularly. He has not been starting for Leverkusen. Ask yourself why. There's a high chance that in the training ground, Finidi saw that some of these players were not fit enough, and that's why he had no choice but to play Onuachu. Now, in the right, looking at someone like Chukwueze, when Chukwueze started against Benin, you will see that he struggled. So that makes sense, the reason why he could not start him against SA. So if you look at the match very well as well, the home-based players he called, I believe he called them so that they can actually, because most of our top players were not available. Olaino was not available, injured, Ekong. Basically, our top players in the AFCON were not available. So he had no choice but to make use of what he had. And guess what? Some of those players did well. Dele-Bashiru scored for us. Now he's on his way to Lazio.
Dele-Bashiru no be home base.
Home base.
About not just the home base now, sorry. I'm just in general, Yeah, the new people, yes, the new people. Dele-Bashiru scored for us. Onyedika, who was a French player under Pesero, scored for us, right? So you will see that he was really trying his best. But I think Finidi was employed in a sensitive time. So you need time to build a team that can gel together. I believe he's a good coach, And a start was done. And they said that if you look at the past coaches we've had, I think we've been to 6 World Cup, right? 6 World Cup or so. 3 local coaches qualified us for the World Cup, and 3 foreign coaches qualified us. So 50-50. If you look at the stats, there's no difference in terms of the success rates between the local coaches and the foreign coaches. But we have this mindset when we see a local coach, it's like, oh, local coach, we start, finding a mistake. Oh, why this? Why did this play this? But if you really look at the match against Benin and SA very well, you will see the reason why Finidi made some choices. So I will not fault him for anything, I will not fault him for anything at all, to be honest with you. Boniface is someone that struggled, since April. Terry Murphy has not been prolific. So he had no choice, So end of the day, when we could decide, we have to look at everything in a holistic point of view. Before the training, before the match against South Africa, I complained that it makes no sense for me to me why players will be boarding that flight on Monday. They gave invitation to the players 3 weeks or so before the match, right? So the EPL was over, so there's no excuse. Oh, I was playing on Sunday. Apart from someone like Lukman, right? These guys were on vacation. Now you are strolling in on camp Monday, Tuesday, and they say, "Oh, there's national strike." That strike was an excuse because if camp opens by Saturday, it means by Sunday you need to be in camp or you need to have boarded your flights to Nigeria. So most of these English-based players, they did not even they were nowhere to be found by Sunday. So these are kind of things we're saying. So it takes time as well to instill discipline in a team. So part of the issue we have is discipline as well. But Finidi George needed more time to instill that discipline in the team. So there are so many factors. To be honest with you, I think in terms of the blame, I'll probably give Finidi maybe 10% of the blame. Most of the blame for me goes to the NFF. 10%, yes. Most of the blame for me goes to the NFF and the players. But we tend not to give local coaches a chance. Check Pasero's stats. When Pasero started, he was losing our friendly games. Here in the US, they came here, they were losing to Ecuador, losing to all these teams, They lost so many games. Under Genotro, we were losing to teams we had no business losing to. We lost, we played a 4-4 draw against Sierra Leone. Do you remember?
Can I just give like a rebuttal slightly, please? Because this like we're live, and I don't want so I can get it from you clearly. You said something that two things that Finidi has been tested at the highest level. What was the level that he was tested?
Okay, I'll just talk in generally, but I know he coached the youth team of Real Betis, right, in Spain.
Is that the highest level?
Okay, but then he came back to Nigeria and he took the coach with Enyimba. The MPFL is not a joke. It's difficult when you have teams like MFM, Remo Stars, and the rest.
You want us to narrate how he won the league, Abby, but that is a different story for another day. Let me ask another question. Say, what certificate must you have for you to stay on the touchline in Europe?
Okay, I don't have much information about that, But at the end of the day, he had the experience, he had the coaching license. That was why he came to Nigeria. I don't think he would have come to Nigeria if he had nothing to show.
So and secondly, too, how many games of Enyimba have you watched?
I don't really watch Enyimba's game because in the US I don't really get But he won the league with Enyimba, right? Yes, he won the league with them.
And I want to
he was give you to Pesero. He was also assistant to Pesero, so he must have understudied the players as well.
You also made one point that the EPL players did not come to camp when they should have, gone to camp and everything. Just to force our listener, FIFA insisted that these players need to rest. So it's now a choice between them to either come to camp directly or to rest. So that is why those guys went on holidays. FIFA insisted that they need to actually rest.
No, I have problem with them resting, but by Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. I know. That is what FIFA said. It's not as if there's any obligation for them to actually work. I think the best thing they have done is that maybe they should move the qualifier closer to when the league ends, so that they can just come from the club directly to the game. And you also made mention that it was trying to bring some players in and everything. See, let me tell you something. There's some players that was dropped to the AFCON. Pasero had a provisional list before he was cutting it down. He dropped some players. Those players that Finidi brought up, none of them were in the provisional list. I'm just telling you that. We had a player, you said Genetro was losing match. If you go and watch, Genetro's first game for Nigeria was against Zambia in Uyo, was against Tanzania in Uyo. Go and check if I can bring Balogu's post out. It said that this is a new Super Eagles. You can see a clear idea of what Genetro was trying to do in his early days. Those of us that came out to criticize what Finidi George did, it's not as if we hate him. It's not as if we don't like him at all. Nigeria must be the winner in everything. And everything we are saying here must be for the good of the country. With my own opinion and what I saw, and players can testify to it, he has no idea of what he was doing. And I knew that one since. That was I said it. See, when one game or two game, if you have one game or two game, and you can see that there's something that this guy is trying to do. It's not clicking, it's not clicking, So you give the chance. For example, now in Pacero's first game against Mexico, we knew, was it Mexico also or Ecuador? We knew what he was trying to do. We knew he lost those 2 games with Desas and so on. We knew what he was trying to do.
Okay.
And those things manifested at the long run. What I was saying basically is this: if you check, what's it called, Gedetro's game. His first game was against Tanzania. Second game was against Zambia in Undola. He went to Zambia to go and beat them in Undola. So if Genetro did not win those games, are you telling me that Genetro will be in his job? You have to win to stay in it. If when Amadou Shuaibu won, if Amadou Shuaibu did not win going to the 2010 World Cup, do you think he will be in the job because he's a local coach? No, you must win to be in the job. So coaching is like you are as good as your last game. It's since time memorial, coaches are hired and fired. See, Philippe Crozet qualified the year for the World Cup. He went to Conakry in Guinea to go and lose a game. When we have qualified, though, they sacked him. You are as good as your last game. If you don't win, you cannot stay in the job. So, in my own opinion, it's good for them to let him go.
Yeah, well, it's fine. But one thing I would say before I go is that we need to learn from our past mistakes. If we have to hire a coach, we have to hire them at the right time. This whole thing of getting coaches, then after 1-2 games, we let them go, is not going to do us any good. Remember what happened to Eguavon and Amunike as well. Sorry, I think I lost you guys. Sorry.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you very much. Let's so that for the essence of time, let's just leave this. But it was a pleasure hearing from you. I always like to hear differing opinions, so nice to hear from you for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know what he's drinking this night. Bring him to come and talk.
Adeyinka, the link is
I don't know what he's drinking this night.
You can feel free to join. Adeyinka said, where is Smith getting all these bogus lives?
I'm getting it from the NFF.
The players that attended the Euros were in camp immediately.
Don't mind him. I'm getting it from the NFF. If you have any source too that tells you something contrary, come out and say it. Don't say it.
I'll just mention something. Like Smith Layi said, so we're looking at the June windows. So here's the thing. FIFA, according to the FIFA international calendar, the players for the Euros had to resume in their camp. What did the Euros start? Sorry, let me just be sure that I'm not getting this wrong.
14th.
On the 14th, yeah. So I think I want to make sure I have the right information. Where am I? 2024. Sorry, I'm trying to find this information so that we okay. So I think it says for international windows, players have to be released 48 hours for friendlies, 5 days for qualifiers, 14 days for international tournaments. So 14 days for international tournaments. So obviously the Euros would have gone earlier than
immediately.
For qualifiers, it says 5 days.
5
so
days.
That's when the players have to be there. And for friendlies, 48 hours.
48 hours.
So if anybody showed up early, that's that player that just decided that, I don't want to rest. Let me show up early. But according to the rules, the players had rest before they were supposed to go for the camp.
Don't mind him. It's like having something darker than what I was having.
Okay, let's wrap up quickly. We've already hit the 2 hour mark. But yes, Bobby Ray has been waiting. Bobby Ray is a friend of the house as well. One of our most diligent subscribers and viewers of the podcast. So Bobby Ray, I greet you. Thank you very much for joining the show, our first live podcast. Thank you.
Now you guys, you Bobby Ray.
I've been enjoying the show so far.
Your voice is a bit low.
I think I have to move that in today.
Is it still low? Is it still low?
It's okay. It's okay. Keep going. Keep going. We'll see.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah. I said I've been enjoying the show so far.
Thank you.
So basically to get to the crux of the matter, I'll start with the Finidi. Yeah, so Finidi has finally left, but to me, it's not something worth celebrating because I think we saw this thing from afar. There was no reason appointing Finidi in the first place. He had no business being there. We said it from the beginning. Even when doing the friendly games, we said that this guy is not fit enough to be the coach. He won't be able to manage this team. He won't be able to take us to the places we need to go. He won't because these two, the two friend qualifiers where the major was the test. And we knew that he will not scale this. So why give him the job in the first place? We just wasted time. We are more like a reactive organization than proactive. We like to react to things instead of doing what we are meant to do, so that we don't have to put that reaction in the first place. So we didn't get it right. Now we put ourselves in a tight corner. And now when I'm talking about who the manager is going to be, I'm saying the current the former Cameroonian coach, who I don't think is good enough. I don't think he's the person we should be looking at. I've seen the current Cameroon manager. I think it's like a better option. But I was thinking, what about the Dutch manager that was linked to the job in the first place when Finidi and Co. Is it Borges or something like that?
The one that was the coach of Fortuna Sittard, I think.
Yeah, Fortuna Sittard. Why aren't they going for that one? Why do we like? It's like in Africa we just recycle coaches. A coach will coach Cameroon, he will coach Gabon, he will coach Mali. He will just be recycling. And what are the results?
It does work.
I don't understand. It's like that. It's like it's a missionary journey. They're doing missionary in Africa, going around touring. They say, okay, you have coached Nigeria today. Let me go and coach Cameroon. They're just swapping everybody. So basically, if that's I don't know what they're going to do with the so-called technical committee. I don't know how good they are, but we will go to the World Cup if we get the right man. Because we can't afford to make another mistake again. We can't afford to make another mistake. We have to get the right man who will scale us to the AFCON qualifiers and take us to the World Cup, because going to the World Cup is a must. Some people don't understand the situation we are in now. Even when we had the 2 draws, some people didn't really understand where we were. Until now that we have lost to Benin and gone with South Africa. So we have to find a way to salvage this position. Then coming to the links, the transfer talk. Yeah, for the case of Bashiru, that's a good move. He's been on an upward trajectory. If you watch the way he's been moving from different clubs, you can see the progression. He's on the right path. So that one will be a good one. And going to Lazio, they didn't have the best of seasons last season, but at least that should be a platform to get to a top club. Then for Ejuke, I've not really been impressed with Ejuke, to be honest. So he's going to Sevilla. That's a good move. And I hope if he gets there, he can work on his game, because my major problem in his game is decision making in the final third and tactical discipline. So if he can work on those things, now he's gone to Sevilla, who is in a better position and can give him that exposure. Then that's a good one. For Osimhen's link to Arsenal, I've heard about the links. I heard that they have started discussing with his representatives, and if Arsenal are able to get that deal over the line, that would be a good one, because I think he will be the difference to Arsenal. Arsenal need a top striker. And for AyoT saying he doesn't want Arsenal to win the league, for me, it's better Arsenal wins the league than Liverpool or Man City. So he should go to Arsenal, no problem. I have no problem him going to Arsenal, and I believe he goes to Arsenal, he will do very well, in fact. And as Smith said that he will be a challenger to Haaland. Definitely, he will be a challenger to Haaland. And at least Arsenal will make him not to put too much work, the excessive work he does sometimes, he has done in Napoli and he does in the Super Eagles. He might mellow down, stay in the box and get those goals. But another thing, I don't know whether you could talk about when it comes to the Falcons. What Olympics are here. I haven't seen any development. I haven't seen any friendlies. I haven't heard of any plans. Nothing. We should be talking about camping for the Falcons. What are they doing? What are we doing? Because for me, we have to go to Paris and win that gold. That's where my mind. Not even to go and do well. Win the gold. Bring the gold back. So that's my contribution. To be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We don't want the golden bronze. We want the gold itself, not the golden bronze.
Of course, gold. We need to go there and get the gold. They should do like the men did well at the World Cup, go to the Olympics, get the gold. And I believe that they can do it. I have hope they can do it. I believe they can do it, but I want to see some groundwork. I want to see some plans. I want to hear of plans. I want to hear of their campaign, all the things put down. So I don't want to hear stories. I don't want to hear any stories.
All right. Thank you very much, Bobby Ray. Thank you for joining and for sharing your thoughts. I'm also all right. So yes, Bobby Ray brought up a good point about the Olympics. I thought about it, but I felt like, let's not cover that today. We would have, I think that one is a conversation on its own that we should discuss with some Super Falcons players recently, just to ask them, hey, Olympics, any news? No real news yet, but of course, everybody is aware that it is getting closer. They are in touch with the players, even though they have not said anything yet. Randy Wardrum has his list. Randy Wardrum has his list, so it's only a matter of time before we hear about this list. But I can tell you, as far as the football side of things are progressing. The administration side of things, that's the side I'm not sure. Because, Olympics is under the purview of the ministry. It's not NFF.
Yes.
So I don't know how that is happening. I don't know how the preparation is going with the sports ministry. But as far as the football, Wardrum, the players, everything, they are moving along. Wardrum has his list. Players are getting ready. The season, that the women's season just ended later than the men's season. So that's one of the reasons why things have been a little bit delayed. Spain just finished their league this past weekend. So the women's this thing is different, but we have to see what the sports ministry is doing for preparation sake. But the players are getting ready, the coach is getting ready. Okay, I'll take the final two callers before we round off for the night. What's it?
Sorry, can I just can I just take my friend this Bode Adetunji? Sorry, can I just take it? Come in, please. So he said that Adeyinka Osuniyi. He said that Oga, I don't drink anything. You just being biased. That is all. So those he said those players never took the qualifiers serious. See, the issue is this. I would use that when I say when you drinking something, apologies for saying that. It was just that because you don't have any evidence, you don't read anything, you don't know all these things, you just came out to talk. So that's the reason why I say that there's no facts there. You're just saying that I'm saying it because I think that it's not good enough. So you don't have any evidence, there's nothing, you don't know anything about it, you're just saying that you're just using what is not to compare Euros and qualifier. Doesn't make sense. So in my opinion, apologies for saying that you drank something, but I just think that just come with your facts, right? That's it.
Smith Layi, please don't vex our viewers. May them come for our next. May them come for our live stream. Don't vex them too much. But yes, apologies for anybody that's offended by that. Just very quickly, sorry, I'm looking on Instagram. I see that my guy Awoni Taiwo is watching the live stream. Shout out to you. I'll send you a message, Taiwo, after we should catch up. But yeah, shout out to you, Taiwo. Well, yeah, thanks for joining the live stream. Okay, we'll take the final two callers. I know it's already almost 1 a.m. in Europe. Thank you for you that are still here. We've been on this for 2 hours and 9 minutes now, so I appreciate it, guys. This is longer than our normal podcast episode, but it is live. So it's exciting. Of course, we're hearing from you. I say I want to take final two callers. Another person don't call again. Okay, but let's go quickly.
Like two of them together.
Yeah, I'll bring people on at a time. But let's go fairly quickly so that we can keep things moving. So Kay, you're up first. Thank you for joining. What do you want to discuss today?
Thank you, guys. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank
You know, the way you analyze Nigerian football, I don't think we get to see better analysts everywhere. Smith Layi, you're on point always. I just want to
Thank
do a quick on the Finidi issue, and the other one is Victor Osimhen. I know you don't like that, but we are hoping it's going to happen as an asset fan. Okay, so on the Finidi the Finidi one, I think I put it in the comment earlier that our coaches, they do have talking about our local coaches, I think quite a number of them do have the prerequisite certification. I don't know what Finidi has, but I think most of them are qualified. But sometimes it goes beyond them qualification. When their approach so far, you see that it's most times business like. In the time of Olise, you can tell the striker Olise was going to invite. He would invite Sylvester Igbohun, and he was then playing for Midtjylland.
Yeah.
Midtjylland, he was then playing for Midtjylland, and Midtjylland is a BAD, had connection with Midtjylland. It was just a mess.
You don't finish. We don't talk about that. So,
so I know all of these things. A BAD and Midtjylland had an agreement. Igbohun was Olise's striker from the Blues. And if Sasa is given the chance now, you see Solomon Okonkwo, you see Dele Adeleye. So these guys are marketing players. Finidi also did the same thing. I was praying and hoping, because the way Finidi looks and all of that, you'd hope that okay, maybe it's our local coach this time around. Maybe he's going to do something different. And the next thing he brought in Tanimo from nowhere, from Tanzania. So you could see that these guys are doing the same thing. They want to sell, and you don't do that to your national team. And you can see that the results are the same thing. They embarrass themselves, and all of us will come back and shout, and we bring back the foreign guys. It's a shame. And I just hope that whoever, any of the local coaches that gets a chance would learn from all these things and do right if they ever get the chance again. I'm just hoping. And then the other one is Osimhen. If Osimhen can, that's my fear with him. I think if he can keep a level head, he would just be the last piece of the Arsenal's puzzle. If Osimhen can just keep his head low, and then if the deal comes through, if he keeps his head low and then gets into the team, I think he can do great. People who are saying they don't want him, like our friend here, we know that it's actually jealousy. We know it's actually jealousy.
But see what you said there. You said if Osimhen joins us now, you believe he can be the final piece for the puzzle. You know the issue? I agree with you 100%. And that's the reason why I don't want him to join. Because I don't want the Arsenal puzzle to be complete. It has nothing to do with Osimhen right now. It's about Arsenal. But yeah, just hold on for a second. Let's just quickly hear from Mr. Desta, just so that we keep things going. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you. I've been today is my first day that I will be watching your programs. You'll be doing a great fine analysis.
Thank you.
But there is an observation that number one, let me talk about Finidi and Victor Osimhen. I should think most of sport journalists in the past, we are not been helping our stars. One thing I noticed in our generations after the 94 team is they cannot manage average success. Little success, it goes into their heads. I'm telling you, look at Rashidi Yekini. See, today, there are some of the records that he took to his grave, that has not been broken how many years. look at the achievement of Amunike and things like that. But let us even accepted that Finidi made mention, spoke against Osimhen. I don't know, maybe reason best to know him. And between Anna and you, I should also think that one of you is not being very, very fair to Finidi on this matter. In age, in everything, can Osimhen, the way he behaved to Finidi, could he have done that to any of his club coaches?
Sorry, sir.
Or
Before you
let him,
continue, you said one of us. I beg call name just so we know who the one.
the thing is, today is my first time of joining you, so I won't be able
I
to know
know.
the name. But what I observe,
So,
what I observe is,
I think it's me that I really to.
baby, my brother, it is true. Please, whoever that wants the best from Osimhen, I think just like the last caller, this is the time that Osimhen needs to calm down, low for him to be able to achieve his potentials. Otherwise, these are the factors that affected Mikel. Mikel, when they started with Messi, the difference between Messi and Mikel was just very, very minor. You can hardly, but while Messi was improving himself, bringing himself down to his local coaches, playing Olympic qualifying matches. Mikel was saying that he was the most busiest Nigerian player. They didn't support Yasser, but look at the end of the day, Mikel could not even compete at the African level, let alone at the national, at the international world stage. The same thing with Okocha. Yes, yes. The same thing with Okocha. Okocha, by all standard, I will say he's a magician. He was the most gifted players that we'll ever have. But why did he not? Why could anybody tell me why he did not win the African Footballer of the Year? When he was at peak of his career, that was when Shuku Sharma was his Nigerian coach. That was when Okocha will be selecting matches, even as a captain of the team. There was a time they brought the brought match to UK, and Okocha as a captain was nowhere to be found. He said he missed his way. And at the end of the day, that lackadaisical attitude, and we are supporting them. Osimhen, whoever that love Osimhen, what he did, it is unprofessional. It is disrespectful to his coach and every other coaches in the world. All other clubs, they will be watching him. If in our own local coaches, my brother, if you are appointed as a coach of Super Eagles today, will you not be weary of Osimhen? The way he lambasted, there's a way by which he can even talk to criticize his coach. Oga Finidi, I'm going to display. I don't like what you did. It is our culture that we respect our elders and our senior. And come to think of it, it is only grace that we make Osimhen to even achieve 50% of what Finidi has achieved. World Cup, this guy has not even appeared in one cup. let a scoring goal. UEFA Cup, not even UEFA final. He has only appeared, and he has look at his preparations. So who is a coach that will want to condone that? So you have been following football for a very long time. Westerhoff was our best coach. Not that Westerhoff was all that good, but discipline-wise, do you know what? Do you know what he removed Peter Rufai? Peter Rufai in the camp, he was one of the first set of people that arrived the camp. The first training, Peter Rufai did not commit any offense. Everybody that knows Peter Rufai, he was working majestically in the training. And the Western asked, who was that? Who was that? They told him that that was our number one goalkeeper, Dodo Mayana Rufai. That was Yed in my team, and he removed him.
I want to
Can I just ask a quick thing. So you said, I know that you were referring to me when you said that we should advise Osimhen. See, it's not as if I come here to actually praise what Osimhen did. What I'm trying to say basically is that in all these things, I just think that it's unfair for us to always use him as a scapegoat. And for me, all what you saw happen, I can tell you is a background story to everything. And I know that one day, I think I saw a publication today in one internet, one guy talking about previous events. You will see a lot of stories, inside stories coming out of it. So it's not just what happened this AFCON. And you mentioned that Dodo Mayana situation. You remember that Dodo Mayana too, in the press conference with Westerhoff, he called Westerhoff a machinery. He called Westerhoff a machinery that he should leave their country. You remember? When Westerhoff does say it is over. I said it's over. If you remember that, don't forget that he was allowed to. No, I'm just saying that it's not as if I'm here, sir. Sorry, I want to cite Victor Osimhen. That time when they were playing football, there was no Instagram live. Maybe some of them will come live. But the issue is this. We have to all condemn what Victor did. But what I'm just saying is that I don't like an idea of just bringing him out as a scapegoat all the time. When Jesus kick no enter against Ghana, blame keep away, ball enter his Toro. So now per se, Jesus kick. No, I don't just like that. I just think that he's one of our best players. Anyhow we can protect him, let us also protect him too.
In any case, I didn't support appointment of Finidi. Do you know why? I did not support him? Because Finidi, we do respects to him. He's too gentleman for my likely for somebody that can control the our players with ego. Late Keshi of blessed memory. You see, I apart from that, the fact that Keshi was good, discipline wise, he that charismatic charisma and the discipline. Tell me any player that can look onto the face of Keshi or call Keshi out like that. That's why to me, Siasia is the best Nigerian living coach today, because this is a guy, apart from the fact that Siasia is very good, discipline wise, it's only the Siasia of this world that can look onto the Mikel when Mikel was the best player and tell him off that no, that I don't need this guy in my Olympics team. And he stuck to his gun that because Mikel did not participated in the qualifying matches when Messi was going back, came between Barcelona and Argentina to play qualifying matches, but Mikel refused. Any coaches that say that will believe that no, I will have to win by all means and condone killing disciplines cannot achieve anything in Super Eagles.
Can
That is why Sia remain.
I want to just jump in.
And he went to the Olympics without Mikel, and he came out with sliver.
Okay.
You see,
sorry.
Please let us help out.
Let me just ask you one question, just to round up, because we are already way overshot our time. But one question to round up the point, and I hear what you're saying, and some people agree, some people disagree. But if we're debating, we're not going to leave here today. But I want to ask you one question here. Osimhen did what he did. Whether right, whether wrong, it has happened now. In your own opinion, sir, what do you think, very quickly, what is the next step? How do we move forward? How do we go past this? Osimhen has done what he has done. Finidi said he's going. So how do we move forward to make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again and it does not affect our future matches?
To me, it is unfortunate that Finidi is gone. Otherwise, to me, for Osimhen not to set a bad precedence, I will suggest that Osimhen should calm down, be humble, and call Finidi, apologize to him openly, officially, whatever. And then, of course, like Yoruba people will say that when you use one hand to beat a child, even despite the fact that Finidi is no longer a coach, he will embrace him. Then whoever any coaches that will be, it is not only for Finidi, but for his own good, because we are in a global village. Every other coaches will also look at him, and even if any local coaches too will also will come in, of course, because even if you bring in a foreign coaches coach now, at least at the end of the day, it will still have to go. And local coach will come in. When local coach comes in, I will remember Osimhen that maybe youthful exuberance, he offended, he did this, and he apologized. Another coach that will be coming will not be coming with that mentality that this guy, I need to put him in check. That is for that. Then my brother, you have been talking. So you were even saying that maybe they should go and beg. They should go and beg Pasero. Pasero was one of the coaches that put us in this problem. Pasero played two World Cup qualifying matches. He was the one that put pressure on Super Eagles. He played lowly in Zimbabwe team. That was the team in that group. He couldn't beat the Zimbabwe. Lesotho he couldn't beat. 0 draw. So what is not special in that, despite the fact that he had a complete team, Finidi in AFCON, during the AFCON, Pasero with our first 11 and the most valuable player Ekong, Osimhen, all of them, they were there. He could only draw with South Africa, and
but
everyone.
He beat other teams now.
Wait a minute. No. I'm judging Pasero. I'm judging Pasero with the Finidi now. It was draw, and the Finidi, half of his first team, they were not available due to injury. Osimhen was not available. The most valuable player of history of that team, Ekong, was not available. Olaino was not available. Moses, that was the man of the match, I think 1 or 2 times in that AFCON, was not available by my brothers. Yet, this guy still draw. You see, most of our problem in Nigeria is complex. White man's skin. And we look down on our people.
Okay,
I'm a aircraft quality assurance and safety engineer.
I have to jump in, sir, just because we've been going on for some time now. But on a day that, if we have more time, on another day, we can dive into these matters a little bit more. But for the essence of time, we have to end it. It's been 2.5 hours. It's late for a lot of people. Even Smith Layi is in Manchester. Smith Layi is about to go to sleep. But we appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed, you haven't followed, please make sure you subscribe and follow the channel. Everyone that's watching, please make sure you like, share, subscribe as well. Thank you very much, sir. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so there you have it, guys. There you have it. We've covered so many different topics. We've had different opinions. Some people agree with us, some people disagree with us. The last guests, was really hitting it, coming for Smith Layi as well. But it was an exciting one. We've steadily maintained across our channels. We've maintained about 300 viewers through the course of this live stream. So it's been a pleasure. X/Twitter was actually our best platform. A lot of people were streaming on Twitter. Over 189 people still stream on Twitter. So shout out to all of you on X. Make sure you follow the channel make sure you follow the page. If you haven't, YouTube as well. We appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share if you're on YouTube, and of course Facebook as well. Make sure you like and you follow the page so that you never miss whenever we drop some content or we are coming live again. Smith Layi, first live podcast, 2.5 hours. They don't let us come out. Somebody said let us do 1 hour more. Nigerian football.
Good.
Our matter they finish, and I love the passion that we all have for this. We will let you guys know when we are going to be doing this live stream again.
So that can
I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. Even when I finish, I find how I'm going to watch it back. 2.5 hours. I don't know, but I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much, guys. Smith Layi, any final word before we wrap up for today?
I just want to appreciate, people that joined from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X now, and I want to special mention to my friend, Adeyinka Ogusu, he's my friend that, thank you, bro, for dragging me slightly today. Thank you. So I appreciate everybody that actually want to join, the man that came for me. Those that agree with me, thank you. Those that agree with me. Those that also come for AyoT because of Chelsea. Thank you too, because so we appreciate all of you. It has been very, very good. In fact, it was just like 30 minutes. When you talk Nigerian football now, time they finish. Yeah. Time they run very fast. Thank you guys I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Please, if you'd like to support the channel, like I said, make sure you check out shop.com and you get your Naija football merchandise. Support the brand, support Nigerian football, support the Super Eagles, Super and everything else. You can check out eaglestrackershop.com. Thank you very much, guys. If you're on YouTube and you would like to support the channel, you can either leave a super chat, to support the channel, or you can become a member of the channel. Members have access to exclusive content, early release, so videos always drop for members before they drop on the main channel. Discount on any merchandise are available for members. So that's another way that you can support the channel, support the brand by becoming a member on our YouTube. And of course, like I said, I've double checked. Liking is free, subscribing is free, sharing is free. So even if you don't want to support the channel by spending money, please, you can support us simply by liking the video, by sharing to your friends and your family, and by subscribing to the channel. Always a pleasure talking football with you guys. Let's call it a night. Smith Layi, I appreciate you, my reliable co-host. As always, my name is AyoT, and this has been the Naija FC podcast. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care. Yeah.